Well, howdy diddly dandy there, chums. 'Tis I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about digital IDs. Yeah, they could be in everyone's pocket. They were saying for 2025. There's just been a massive push here in the UK for everybody to get these digital IDs. So I figured I'd just show you the sorts of videos that I've come across that sort of sparked this to my attention. So here you go. Let's have a quick listen to this guy first.
You're probably wondering when digital ID will be coming to your country. Well, it looks like almost every country will have a national digital ID by 2025. This is the timeline given by the United Nations Development Programme, or UNDP, in a report it published in February this year. The report is titled, quote, Digital Strategy 2022 to 2025, and I'll leave a link to it in the description because it is seriously insane. For starters, the report reveals that the UNDP's digital strategy was first announced in mid-2019, almost exactly when the WEF signed its partnership with the UN. The report also repeatedly states that the pandemic accelerated the development of digital ID around the world.
Now, this is what spurred me to do this video, is Tony Blair coming forwards to say now is the time to embrace digital ID. So here we go, let me play this one to you.
We cannot continue with business as usual, and change is inevitable. This is where technology, like digital ID, becomes critical. My institute's own analysis shows that introducing this in the UK would save at least $2 billion a year, and likely more, by reducing losses to fraud, improving tax collection, and better targeting of state support. We know this because around the world, countries like Estonia, Singapore, even India, have successfully implemented digital ID systems, cutting red tape and improving efficiency. These nations aren't just adopting new technology, they are reimagining how the state itself works. Of course, concerns about privacy and security are valid, but these systems, done in the right way, actually give individuals more control over their own data. With robust safeguards and transparency, we can ensure that digital ID enhances rather than threatens personal privacy. We cannot...
Okay, now, chums, I actually went to India and I saw this firsthand with it being implemented. I mean, they could make payments just using their phones, super easy, just tap, 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 done, diddly, and done. But it was actually really seamless. And it was very, very convenient. It was actually pretty good when I was out there. I mean, but having a digital ID, I mean, they are saying that this is also going to restrict people under the age of 16 from getting onto social media or even going online. And when you do fire up your browser, they're even saying that you may have to put in your digital ID and all of your web browsing will be logged against your digital ID. They're also saying it's going to be easier to apply for visas. It's going to be easier to submit your taxes and make sure you're paying the right level of tax, because it's all going to be seamlessly integrated to your banking and everything. Even your medical systems are all going to be there at hand. It seems to be that to be able to take part in anything digital, a digital ID may be required. And I don't know how I feel about that one, because it's Big Brother that's got tabs on you, most definitely. You know, privacy will go out the window in favour for security. And they're trying to sell this under the umbrella of, if you go for these digital IDs, it's going to stop voter fraud, it's going to stop illegal migration, it's going to stop all this sort of stuff around security upset and upheavals and breaches. There is a lot of good, but are we, like I said earlier, trading off our levels of privacy for security? And then it makes you wonder, well, have they created this problem of a threat to our security to then offer this as the only solution on the table? They often say, create the solution, then create the problem. And then people are going to want that solution that you have to hand. I'm just wondering whether this has all been orchestrated off of the bat. Now, if you do want to look into the whole thing with digital ID over in India and how it's transformed India, and it's brought wealth and it's brought benefits and welfare to people that need it, there is a heck of a lot of videos on the interweb already about this. Now, the way that it was implemented and rolled out inside of India and some of these other countries aforementioned by Mr. Blair was for a company called Infosys. Now, Infosys were the ones behind this massive, great big India rollout anyway, for sure. Now, Infosys is actually headed up by somebody that's kind of known in the UK. So you got Rishi Sunak, his wife, her father is one of the CEOs of Infosys. So there have been people joining dots and sort of putting out there, is this a little bit conflict of interest-y? Are people benefiting that are quite high up in politics and government? I haven't really gone down that rabbit hole, but I thought I would just put it out there because it is things that I've heard and things that, you know, should be on the table for anybody that's looking into this. But yeah, I saw the revolution that's happening over in India firsthand, and there's very big pros and cons. Very big pros and cons. Now, over in the US, they're rolling out one that's called Real ID. There is a deadline of the 7th of May to get it, or else you're not going to be able to travel on planes. So that's very much a real thing. There you go. I'll just type that in quickly, just in case you're over in the US and this is the first time you're hearing of it. But here we go. Here's a little short.
At DMVs in many parts of the state, there are often long lines of people every morning trying to get a Real ID. That's because in 2 weeks, on May 7th, you'll need a Real ID or passport to board an airplane.
It's crazy. So I got in line at 7:30. It's 1:30 right now. I waited that long. So bring a book.
If you have a passport, military or government ID, or are not flying anytime soon, the Secretary of State says there's no rush for a Real ID. You can make an appointment.
Now, if you're traveling soon, unfortunately, that does place you in the position of having to walk into one of our 13 branches. Our recommendation is to come as early as you can and be prepared to wait.
At BMVs in many parts of the...
Well, there you go, people. There you go. So it's coming to all shores, and it seems to be happening a little bit quicker than it was in the past, for lots of different caveats and reasons that I outlined inside of this video. I mean, personally, myself, you know, you often hear people say, well, if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to worry about, which is true to a degree. It's definitely true to a degree, isn't it, that? But at the same time, it's what level of trust do we have in the people that are going to be holding our data? That's one of my biggest issues. I mean, you hear of people having their data sold on and being contacted out the blue by all sorts of advertising companies. Data is the new gold, as they say. And if everything is on these digital IDs and is going to be put into the hands of quangos or government sidearms, bodies of interest, it does make me think, well, who exactly has access to this data? How are they going to use it? Are they going to use it to train AI? Are they going to use it on facial recognition systems as you're walking down the street? Are they going to tie this into some sort of social credit system? Is it going to turn the West into a version of China and their social credit system? It does make you wonder, especially when people at the World Economic Forum have said how much they marvel and how much they like the China's social credit system. How it rewards society that needs rewarding and punishes those that need punishing for being good or bad citizens. Who decides who's a good or bad citizen? It's a very slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope I don't even want to get on. And yes, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, you know, I'm a good citizen. Well, I would say I'm a good citizen too, you know. I don't think I've got anything to fear or worry about, but at the same time, I can see that this could create other divides in those that have and those that have not. Well, I think it could line the pockets of the rich massively. But at the same time, the way that society's going right now, with the understaffing and utilisation of our police forces, perhaps something like this is needed. I mean, let's face it, if there is a crime, because of the digital IDs, you can just do a ping of who was around at that time, and it's going to bring you back all of the people that have got digital IDs in that area, at that vicinity, at that given time. You can pull them all in for questioning, can't you? But then people will say, well, what about when there's like protests? You know, the whole government is going to know every single person that was in that protest, even if they wanted anonymity or not. I mean, yes, you could probably leave your digital passport or digital ID at home, but how long will it be before that's an offence to do that, leaving your digital ID at home? And is a digital ID going to be a card, or is it going to be on your mobile device, or both? There's another thing. Being that it's digital, why do you need a physical card? Anyway, people, I think I've given you enough food for thought and my rationale and my thinking. At the end of the day, I'm just a cog in the machine. I can't actually make any change, but if enough cogs fall out of alignment, then the machine has to be changed, doesn't it? So there we go. I think the power is in the people's hands, and who you vote for matters massively. Or does it? You know? Or does it? I kind of feel that these digital IDs are being pushed from a higher plateau than those that we vote for. I think this is shadow government type stuff here. The deep state, as some would call it. Do you believe in the deep state? Do you believe in the puppeteers behind the magistry that we see in front of us? Those that we vote for are just puppets. What's your feeling on this, people? Sound off in the comments. Let me know. Until next time, goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again.
Steve